Hey there, and welcome to Food by Michelle. Today I am in the kitchen cooking a chicken pot pie casserole. As you can see, I got that chicken and potatoes in the skillet simmering. So if your tummy is hungry, stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. I hope you are having an amazing kind of day. Today we are making chicken pot pie casserole. And as you can see, I have the chicken. Oh Lord, let me get it. Chicken in the skillet. Chicken breast, that is. Here cooking. And I'm going to dice that up. Put it in a pan with some peas and carrots. Crescent rolls. Some cream of chicken. You know, I had to put all my seasonings in there as well, and some frozen potatoes. This is going to be a delicious meal. If you're hungry, stay tuned. So as you can see, the chicken and potatoes are done, and I literally just went through and tried to dice it as thin as I possibly can, so when I put it in a casserole dish, you don't have big chunks of potato and big chunks of chicken. Now I am sauteing some white sweet onions to get them soft and put them in the pan with the chicken and the potatoes. And then from there, I'm going to add the other ingredients. So now I can put the onions in the pan with the chicken, sauteed onions, and I'm going to add the rest of my sauces. Excuse me, not sauces, jeez. The rest of my spices in there. You know, this is one of my go-to that I add, Creole seasoning, just for a little flavor and spice. And then I'm adding some parsley as well. I don't even know what parsley does. It's just an herb, and I love herbs. I particularly like fresh herbs, but if I don't have them on hand, I have no problem using dried herbs. And of course, I always add garlic powder to everything that I cook for many reasons. I add fresh garlic, and I also add powdered garlic. And I have some oregano that I'm going to put in here too. The more herbs that you put in your food, it takes away from having all of that salt and all of that kind of stuff in there. And you know, the older you get, not even the older you get, anybody should be worried about their intake of salt, because you know, even though salt is really good on everything that you cook, it still can be a hindrance to your health. So I don't use regular salt. I use sea salt. Sometimes I use kosher salt, but I still use it in moderation, even though it's not as strong as regular salt. I still use it in moderation. So now that all of this is in there, I'm going to stir this up. I'm going to get the peas and carrots ready in conjunction with the cream of chicken, and pour it into the casserole with the crescent rolls as well. So as you can see, I have the potatoes, the chicken, the herbs and spices in there. Then I just added 2 tablespoons of garlic, fresh garlic there. Now I'm adding the peas and the carrots. And use this to your discretion, because this is a whole bag. This will definitely be a lot in there, but I love veggies in everything that I cook, and with everything I cook too. So it's up to you how much you want to put in here. I typically don't use the whole bag. It just depends on how much I'm cooking and for how many people. If my boys are home, of course I'm going to add as much as I possibly can. But if it's just me and hubby, I just add just enough so I can have, per se, maybe 1 day of leftovers. See, I'm that girl that just really can't get into the leftover thing. I don't know what it is. I can only eat certain foods for leftovers, and then after that, I'm like literally tired of it. But things like this is a comfort food. So I don't mind eating comfort foods at least 1 day. So I'm stirring everything up, as you can see, in preparation of putting the cream of chicken in here. Now I'm ready to add the cream of chicken in here. And as a reminder, I always have to tell my children when they're cooking, make sure you wash the lid off before you open it up and pour it into your meals. I mean, you never know where cans are sitting and what's dropping on them and all that kind of stuff. So now that I have the cream of chicken in here, I'm going to add 2 to be exact, but right now I'm just going to get this one in here and try to get it soaked into the potatoes and the veggies. So I've added the other cream of chicken, can of cream chicken to the mixture, and that is just enough. One thing that you don't want is this to be dry. So if you have to add some water to it, go ahead and do that. Or I prefer cream of, chicken stock. Add that to it because you don't want this mixture to get dry when it's cooking. So once you have all of this stirred into the bowl, make sure it is saturated. So now I'm getting ready to put the mixture into the pan, and you don't want the pan to be just dry, bone dry. So you either want to put some oil, canola oil. I like a little butter at the bottom of mine before I put the crescent rolls at the bottom. I can put a little butter on top of it. So whatever your choice of oil, just make sure it's not, the bottom of the pan is not dry, because what is it going to do? It's going to stick. So make sure you add something to it. So I have my crescent rolls that I'm getting ready to open up and lay at the bottom of. So I have the crescent rolls at the bottom. You want to make certain that you press it as thin as possible so that it's not too doughy at the bottom, because you're also going to put some on top as well. As you can see, I've poured the mixture on top of the crescent roll at the bottom, and I'm going to put one on top as well. So depending on, again, how many people you're feeding, this is going to be for 2 people, and again, as I mentioned, it's going to last at least 2 days. Hubby can take it to work or something along those lines. Perfect lunch. If you're trying to save money, make that comfort food last a couple of days. But in regards to the vegetables also, you can cook them prior to, but just keep in mind you're going to put this in the oven for about 30 minutes and they're going to cook anyway. So I like a little crunch to my veggies. So instead of me cooking them prior to putting them in the mixture, I just put them in the mixture and let them cook when I put it in the oven. So as you can see, the dough is on top, and it didn't unroll like I wanted it to. It's a kind of a little imperfect, but that's okay because it's still going to turn out yummy. But I like to have extra crust on top, and so I made sure that whatever I took away from the bottom of the pan, I put it on top as well, because it just kind of adds to the fluffiness of it. And I also added a little butter out top so that it does not burn or get any darker. I like it to have a nice pretty brown complexion on top of the dough when I'm taking it out of the oven. So here it is. I'm getting ready to put it in the oven for about on 375 for about 20 to 30 minutes. Again, you got to check it consistently. I have a convection oven, so my oven tends to cook a little quicker. So if you have a timer or time set on your stove, that's good as well, but also consistently check on it while it's. Look here in the oven. Oh my God, it's starting to fluff up. Yum, yum, yum. So here you go, the chicken pot pie casserole. Yum, yum, yum. As you can see, it's nice, pretty, and brown. I got the little speckles of cilantro on top. Remember, I put butter on top of the crust so it can come out crispy and nice and pretty. I just love pretty food. And when it's pretty and it's yummy, ooh-wee, OMG. So I thank you for being a part of my space today, having dinner with me and cooking this delicious meal. It's quick, simple, and easy, so you can cook this on the weekend or after work, whatever makes you happy. But remember, it's going to be delicious if you put your love into it. If you like this video, which I know you did, why don't you go ahead and give me a thumbs up? I love it, love it, love it, love it. I greatly appreciate you. If you like lifestyle and all that kind of good stuff tied into some yummy, yummy food to soothe your appetite, why don't you go ahead and subscribe and be a part of my family, a part of my community. Greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you make it a fabulous day on purpose.